Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom on this special Shabbat of the portion of Vayishlach, as well that this Shabbat is Yutet Kislev and Sunday Chav Kislev. Those are the 2 days we call the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidut. It's the time when the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov, as elucidated by the Alter Rebbe, starting with the book of Tanya, opened up a new world that at that time and continually till today helps people transform their lives from simple, mundane, materialistic to a much more elevated, spiritual, godly life that has no barriers and no limits to reach the greatest heights in personal development and connection to Hashem. In this week's Torah portion, we read about the famous encounter of Yaakov and Esav, where Yaakov tries to reconcile with his brother and make up with him, and tries to bring him into the fold. But before he meets him, the evening before, the night before, early morning he wakes up his family and he moves them across a little brook, a river, and then he goes back because he forgot a few things. When he goes back and he's alone, all of a sudden he is attacked. He's attacked by a person who wrestles with him for the whole night. We know that that person is an angel, the angel of Esav, who is trying to stop him from reconciling and affecting and impacting Esav. And the angel, as much as he tried to hurt Yaakov and to defeat him, he couldn't. Finally, at the end, he hits him in his upper thigh, sciatica nerve, dislodges it, and he causes some harm, but no real damage. And then he wants to go. So he says to Yaakov, I want you to let go of me. I'm not going to hurt you anymore. And Yaakov says, you got to bless me. So he says, what's your name? So Yaakov says, my name is Yaakov. He says, Yaakov will not be your name anymore. From now on, it'll be Yisrael. Because you were able to stand up at very high level to great people and overcome. Like him, the angel. Even though it was the angel that changed his name, later in the Parsha, Hashem confers that name change to Yaakov. Now here we see something very interesting. Yaakov has a name change in the middle of his life. We all carry the same name from our birth till 120 years that we live here in this world. Even Avram had a name change, but it didn't come about through any battle. Hashem promised him a new name to guarantee that he will have a child. What is this name change of Yaakov? So Yaakov, as the choice of the three forefathers, we call B'chir Shaba'avis. We learn a lot about Yaakov for our lives and how we conduct ourselves. And Yaakov teaches us that we can create transformation in ourselves. A name represents not just a handle of how people call you. A name represents who you are. A name talks to the essence of who you are. It's actually the channel of life and energy that comes to you. Yaakov, the Torah tells us, through his hard work and efforts, 14 years he went to study Torah before he moved down to Haran, to a very corrupt place, to ensure that he's protected and is able to withstand the temptations and the hardships there. And then for 20 years he's dealing with a cunning father-in-law and a difficult place and situation, and yet he works hard to bring his family to follow in his path of loving God and caring for God and wanting to do and serve God in the way a Jew is supposed to. Yaakov's life was one that was full of challenges that he overcame and that he worked hard to be able to always stay on the right path, and it called within himself deeper and deeper strength to be able to do it. And at this point, the angel says, you become another person. You're not just Yaakov anymore, representing the heel, the beginning of life. You're Yisrael. Yisrael also comes from the word lirosh, comes from the word head. You have transformed yourself. You're on a different plane, a different level. And by the way, we still keep the name Yaakov because at times even a great person can have a little bit of a fall. But he has what to come back to, Yisrael. And this is the message of Yutas Kislev as well. We can create real transformation within ourselves. We have the ability to not only become better, but to transform ourselves to become different than we ever imagined we could be. We can dig deep within ourselves to find the treasures that allow us to step above and beyond our own limited personal interests, to serve God in God's ways, on God's terms, and with godly powers. And this is what we have to take away from this Parsha. We can all become Yisraels. We are Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel. Let's make our life one that is transformed. Learn Chassidut. It's the opening step to learning deeply about who you are and what you can become. As the saying goes, that Torah teaches us how small we are. God is infinite, is great. We are small, but also how great we can become. And you are all set for greatness. So I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom and a good Yom Tov for the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidut. May God bless you all. We love you. Candlelighting time in Montreal, 3:54 p.m.